Welcome again. Welcome to the continuing video series on attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, brought to you by Megatech Incorporated. Megatech Incorporated provides technological treatments for persons with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Megatech Incorporated are the makers of attention deficit hyperactivity treatment game called Cups and Balls. Please refer to the attentiondeficitdisordergame.com for your free use of the game. This game provides therapeutic benefit for the enhancement of persons' ability to focus and attend. During this session, we're going to talk about the treatments. What are the treatments for persons with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? Well, there are many treatments for ADHD. We will cover these in two separate parts because there are just so many and our clients need them all. It's a conglomerate of many different treatment types put together into one full treatment plan. So part one will cover the medications, neurofeedback, sensory integration dysfunction, and nutrition. Part two will cover environmental adaptations and behavior therapies. So let's begin now with part one. We'll begin with medications. The most common type of medications used for treating attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is called stimulants. Although it may seem unusual to treat attention deficit hyperactive disorder with a stimulant, but for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, it does seem to have a calming effect. For many children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, stimulants tend to reduce hyperactivity and impulsivity while improving their ability to focus, work, and actually learn. There are some non-stimulant medications that are also providing similar improved effect. A one-size-fits-all approach doesn't really apply when you have different children and different causes and different features of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. What works for one child might not work for another. And also the side effects may differ from one child to another with great differences between them all. Sometimes several different medications or dosages might need to be tried before finding what works best for that individual. Medications, as well as other forms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder treatments, should all be tailored and uniquely developed for each individual person. Let's look now at nutrition. Nutrition now plays a large role in the treatment approach for persons with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Many studies have pointed to the possibility that some foods have a propensity to attention deficit hyperactivity behaviors, or at least exacerbating the symptoms themselves. The idea that sugar causes ADHD or makes the symptoms worse is a popular notion, but more research discounts this theory than supports it. Other research has found and focused their attention to food additives such as artificial color, preservatives, MSG that may be associated with increased ADHD activity. Sensory integration approach is also another very important component of the treatment plan and should be added in a regular part of each person with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This component indicates that there's a difficulty processing and understanding sensory input in a way and how to organize that as it comes in. Our sensory processing, the way we see, hear, smell, taste, or feel, and how that processes in an understandable and organized way. Neurologically, it seems to have a deficit in sensory production and tends to overcompensate with extrasensory activity and exploration and physical hyperactive behavior. Structured sensory input at scheduled times provides that additional sensory input needed to regulate an understimulated sensation up to an appropriate level. Neurofeedback also plays an instrumental role in the process of the treatment of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It regulates the amount of beta waves and theta waves, and it gets very complicated in brain imaging. But essentially, when a normal child tries to read or concentrate, he increases the amount of beta waves in certain parts of his brain. However, children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder don't do this. Instead of increasing beta waves, that's kind of normal and what ought to be, they increase their theta wave activity. And theta wave activity is associated with the daydreaming, the neutral brain wave time. This means that where other children are concentrating harder with beta wave activity on complicated and completion of tasks, children with ADHD are drifting off due to increased theta wave activity and are engaged in daydreaming. By providing behavioral training and exercise through neurofeedback procedures, this teaches the brain to regulate the appropriate brainwave activity and level that's required for that situation. There are many neurofeedback exercises that can be used as the source of stimulus in the training of the brain to function optimally. One such video game is called Cups and Balls. Megatech has developed their therapeutic game called Cups and Balls, and as a person plays this game, they can receive feedback. And as they regulate the appropriate brainwave activity for that activity, they can teach the brain and regulate the brain to function at that more appropriate level. And this ends part one of a two-part series of treatment of ADHD. Be sure to come back for the companion trainings within the series. We are going to cover the second part of treatment of ADHD, but we're also going to look at how to diagnose it. What are the causes of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? What are the symptoms? We also want to understand the other coexisting conditions that are associated with ADHD. The technological therapeutic games for the treatment of ADHD, and the beneficial effects of Cups and Balls to persons with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Thank you for your time and attention. Please go to attentiondeficitdisordergame.com for your free use of the game. This game provides therapeutic benefit for the enhancement of persons' ability to focus and attend. Megatech is committed to the improving the quality of lives of persons with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Megatech will continue to provide these technological therapeutic games free of charge to anyone and at all times. Thank you very much.